What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have quite interesting news. First of all, I will explain you some updates that is related to the litigation, the most recent litigation and the most recent update that was filed by your favorite SGM, by Daniel. On top of that, I will show you a response from another community member who was attacked by another community member who has quite a different opinion. And I show you on my personal example how you have to handle this problem and how you have to behave yourself in order to be extremely focused on the main goal of MMTLP community. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. So, let's start with this tweet that Daniel, your favorite SGM, wrote just 7 hours ago. Threatening to accuse someone on frivolous or vexatious lawsuits to intimidate them is abuse of process. Everyone has the right to litigate, and bad faith threats undermine justice, violating protections against coercion and harassment. Read 18 U.S.C. 1512. And here you can see the response of Bangarang that was written 6 hours ago. What about this? Is the below considered bad faith? And Bangarang reposted the tweet that was written by Trevor the Fisherman 12 hours ago. Jan Vitrana accuses influencers of asking for an audited share count, then proceeds to ask for an audited share count in her relief. This is hilarious and almost impossible to make up. And guys, I have to admit that we have several lawsuits that were filed pro se. This means these lawsuits were filed without help of professional attorneys. And that is why, guys, we might see some, let's say, not discrepancies, but some misunderstandings in these lawsuits. But everything will be settled in the court itself. And guys, it is the right of any US citizen to sue any other US citizen, and basically no one can stop you if you believe that that your rights were infringed. And that is why, guys, we have this type of litigations. And unfortunately, I don't like the attacks from one community members to another, because it will not lead us anywhere. So let me show you what did Daniel write in response to Bangarang tweet. He wrote, "I'm not a lawyer and won't discuss any case publicly, but the court, not X spaces, hosts or posts, will decide the outcome. Wild threats being thrown around aren't just unkind, they may be unlawful. Using litigation solely to intimidate others in litigation is unacceptable." And he also added this: "Conversely, reading public court documents allowed for entertainment or leveling accusations against others in community isn't exactly adult behavior. While anyone can lawfully file a complaint, it's crucial to remember that the accused are innocent until proven guilty." And guys, this is the very important statement. And let's take a look at the response of Busy Brands, and in just a minute I will show you why we have this response right now. So Busy Brands wrote, "I won't feel sorry for anyone bringing any frivolous lawsuits against me. F around and find out. I don't want to apologize. Sorry, my bad, and or any crying after the fact. You come after me or my family cause you have a hunch or you were manipulated to think I'm a bad actor. Then that's your fault, or the fault of that scumbag attorney who gave you bad information and manipulated you." With that being said, these idiotic tactics will not shut me up. I will continue to fight for the many MMTLP shareholders that were affected by this injustice, including the hundreds of veterans who lost millions of dollars. Like I repeatedly have stated to some of your numbnuts, I have no NDAs, nor I am a paid consultant or took any monies from the time spent advocating for transparency regarding the MMTLP fiasco. What is the share count, release the blue sheets, contacting AGs, calling Congress, getting media to report on us. This is what I choose to do with my time. Some of you don't like it, then you can F off. What is the penalty for frivolous lawsuits in Texas? Penalties can include fines, sometimes up to thousands of dollars. The courts can demand that the litigator pay to reimburse court fees, squandered time, attorney's fees, and out-of-pocket expenses of the other party. Judgment lien. A judgment lien allows a plaintiff to take control of a real property owned by the defendant that's not exempt, or take the money owed from the sale of that property. And guys, I have to admit that, well, it is very unpleasant to see this type of actions inside MMTLP community, because we have wait a second, I will show you what is Busy Brands talking about. So Paul T wrote this 7 hours ago. I guess I've been out of loop here. Can you tell me who is filing a lawsuit against you? I certainly don't think you're a bad actor. And let me show you what was the answer to this question. And the answer is Jennifer is. And Jennifer means Jennifer Vetrana. And we know that she was one of 6 person who filed the lawsuit against the wrongdoers, and these 6 lawsuits are quite similar one to another. And I have to admit that on the one hand, I think the most prominent path for the resolution for the entire MMTLP community is definitely a litigation path. But we have a completely opposite opinion, for example, wait a second, from Paul T himself. And let me show you what let me show you his opinion. Let me show you right here. In his Twitter account, just recently he reposted, wait a second, I will show you in details. He reposted the link to my video. Here it is, and he basically has one response on it. Let me show you this in details. Stephen Poither wrote this: getting ready for more disappointment. And Paul wrote, I certainly don't agree with everything Andrei states in his videos. However, this episode is worthwhile as he goes over some of the litigation pages. And I definitely like this video, and here is my response. It's absolutely normal to have different opinions. And guys, this is the most important part of the conversation and of interaction inside the MMTLP community. Definitely every one of us has our own opinion, and every one of us thinks that we might see the resolution through one way or another, and it doesn't matter that we are right. Nobody knows what will lead us to the resolution. It is just our opinion, and we are free to say it publicly. And that is why, guys, do not attack each other, because at the end of the day, our main goal is to see the resolution for the entire MMTLP community. And you can see by the most recent actions of Daniel, where basically I showed you this in the most recent update that he sent to me. He filed basically first amended complaint. Let me show you. And in the prayer of relief just yesterday, I showed you the clear evidence that he wants to solve the problem not for himself, but for the entire MMTLP community. And please watch this video. It was very interesting to you. I think it should be very interesting for you to understand the psychology behind the scenes and what Daniel thinks. On top of that, guys, we know that Scott is also extremely active right now, and he has the same intention to help the entire MMTLP community. And I also showed you the facts of these actions. And to be honest, guys, for now we have 10 lawsuits. I have to admit that the most recent lawsuits that were filed right before the expiration date of statute of limitations, the most recent ones, I think it was 6 lawsuits. These lawsuits are quite similar one to another. You can find them on Ocelot's set of tweets that he published on December the 9th, and his Twitter account is default usert. And you can see that basically these lawsuits are quite similar one to another. And I don't think that this is the most prominent lawsuits in our case. At the same time, guys, we have 4 additional lawsuits. First of all, it is a class action lawsuit of Torchlight versus SEC, and this lawsuit is for every MMTLP shareholder. Another lawsuit that was switched to class action lawsuit from the classical, I would say, lawsuit is the lawsuit that was filed by Mark Basil, and the plaintiff in this lawsuit is on trades. And this switch to class action lawsuit is not an ordinary change of narrative, because it is related to TD Ameritrade MMTLP shareholders only. And in this case, on the one hand, Mark is trying to help the people who held their shares via TradeStation, but at the same time, guys, another major target in his lawsuit is to investigate even more details that will be discovered only in this type of lawsuits and that will be proven by the judge. And this information might be used in another lawsuits that potentially might be filed after these details are disclosed. And guys, 2 more lawsuits that are also very prominent in my opinion is the lawsuit of Scott Trott. And I have to admit that for now, in my opinion, Scott is already at the very tip of despair, because he broke several lines of defense of the wrongdoers. And the last but not least definitely is the lawsuit that is filed by Daniel Oxer and Marcos Montero. And for now we have only one defendant. It is the Securities and Exchange Commission. And just yesterday I showed you this update, and I have to admit that within next several weeks to next several months, I think this might be the game changer in our entire saga. So, and let's take a look on other news. Let me show you right here that in response to Busy Brain's tweet, Sam IM wrote this: TLDR, sorry, I'm too busy following the community's action plan and calling people's neighbors, so I'm there supporting this. I'll just catch up with Congress when vacation is over. And she added the screenshot of this quite let's say weird tweet that was written just a couple of days ago by Chris Hansen. And Chris wrote, I will no longer wait. The fun starts now. MMTLP Army. Despite Jack pleading with me to not do this, it happens anywhere. Here are 4 of, and here is the blacked out name, immediate neighbors and their phone numbers. I expect lots of us to make some calls today and going forward. And he disclosed this information, and I have to admit that it is a private information that shouldn't be disclosed publicly. And he added, be sure to let his parents and everyone around him to know who he is. Remind them. And guys, I found this Twitter account, and I have to admit that it was made just recently, basically a couple of days ago, I would say. And he has only 6 followers, and he follows 2 Twitter accounts. And you can see that there is only 2 posts in this Twitter account, and we don't have, let me show you that we don't have the second part of this tweet with the sensitive information. But I have to admit that this type of Twitter accounts and actions are not so good, I would say. And I have to admit that you shouldn't follow this type of people, and you shouldn't act accordingly to this call to action. Definitely, in my opinion, it is illegal action, and if you will take a part in these illegal actions, you will violate a lot of laws. On top of that, guys, I want to pay attention on today's video to this tweet that was written by RareDD. And he also added this just a couple of, couple of hours ago. He said, if FINRA didn't use Rehalt MMTLP, settlement would have rightfully taken place. Brokerages that informed their clients that they would force liquidate MMTLP short positions beginning December the 9th of 2022 would have done so. And long position holders that made the choice to sell their shares would have sold to those short position holders. There is no evidence of any brokerage saying they would allow new buys in MMTLP after December the 8th. Trading would have been limited to the position close scenario described above. When both the brokerage and the investor gets to carry out their procedure and plan, you never hear complaints, you never hear about issues. TradeStation has an issue. They are currently unable to facilitate transfer to the transfer agent because they don't have enough shares. In the first image below, TradeStation describes the problem that many, if not all, other brokerages are facing. They weren't allocated enough shares to NextBridge hydrocarbons to facilitate the one-for-one exchange. How would you hide a problem like this? I don't know. How about deleting the trading symbol before the exchange is meant to take place? Play musical chairs with dummy QSIPs and pretend that FINRA is incapable of, at the very least, auditing the domestic brokerages under their jurisdiction. Fidelity has an issue. They sent out tax documents to all of their clients that held MMTLP, claiming that they are now holding legitimate shares of NextBridge hydrocarbons. If Fidelity wasn't truthful, this would be an example of tax fraud and mail fraud, to say the least. Let's say the imbalance were small, though. Why wouldn't it take more than 2 years to resolve? The evidence points to a significant imbalance that would have revealed the SEC's inability or refusal to police the market when TRCH traded. Those TRCH trades that were allowed to transfer into MMAT and MMTLP would be evidence. So, what better way to hide the evidence that to try to bankrupt the companies attached to the securities? And also, refuse to investigate the obvious foul play in which the regulators took part, in my opinion. So guys, I have to admit that RareDD asks a lot of very important questions that need to be answered, and unfortunately we are still here and we are trying to fight against these wrongdoers. But guys, please stay focused on our main goal. And guys, take a look at Daniel. His behavior in this case is brilliant. He filed a lawsuit, and since he made this first amendment compliant and since he filed his lawsuit, he didn't post anything about his litigation. And that is why, guys, he is my hero because of his behavior. And it doesn't mean that we have 100% chance to win this battle, but with this type of people, with this type of behavior, it will definitely help us to see the resolution.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.